Welcome back, everyone. I'm Shinigami Tabris, and we're going to be doing story time. Um, this is the first in hopefully a couple.
Hopefully so. We'll
Um,
see. We've tried.
this is whenever I refer to the pretty lady, this is her.
Or the girl. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm the girl.
So, you able to hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I hear you fine. We've tried this for several weeks and we keep screwing it up. So.
Okay. For those that are, we're going to get this started with, first off, we've got to make sure that everybody knows that all of our music's coming from Stream Beats. Harris Heller. Yeah. So, outside of that, welcome to Story Time. You wanted to update us from the last time that I had you on.
I did. I do. I don't really have a lot to say about it because I don't know a lot. But just a quick recap. My mom was supposed to get married. The groom died in the parking lot of the church on the day that they were getting married. My kids witnessed it all. There will be no funeral. There's supposed to be a celebration of life at some point in time. And that's all I have right now for that. I know there's a lot of questions. I did figure out through my kids that autopsies cost a lot, apparently. But that's all I have right now. So, this is more your time for a story because there is so much that involves you. Not with the story I've originally told. This is a completely different story. So, I hope I have an update on the story later. I may or may not. Like I said before, my mom and I do not talk. But yeah. God, in the last couple of days, just our life. The crap that you can't make this stuff up. I swear to God. I wish I could. Because I would be like the best writer ever. So it's your turn. I think we're going to entitle this one Boomer's Bamboozlement.
Yeah, that's what we had decided on.
Yeah, so I'll interject with your story if you're ready to tell. And please know that everything we're saying is like surface value. There is so freaking much that we could put several therapists, kids, and their grandkids through college. Or live, honestly. So, who?
Nasagi, he says hi.
Hi! But I'm going to let you go ahead and tell a little bit of the story. I will interject because I always have an opinion. I can't keep my mouth shut. So, let's go.
Okay. I think where she's wanting us to start at is...
Your dad passed away last year.
Yeah. So
your car had died. Start there.
So I've had the same car for going on like I think it was 10 years, 11 years, and it was already used when I got it.
It was a Prius. It's a Toyota Prius.
It had 560 something thousand miles, maybe 570.
But y'all had replaced the battery pack.
Yeah.
Which are way more expensive than I ever thought they should. But whatever. I wasn't here for that, but go ahead.
So at the 500,000 mile, 570,000 mile mark, it finally decides to throw a code that basically set it up to where
there's a brake issue.
Yes. And
like you wouldn't have brakes. And we live in a very hilly area.
So the brakes and to fix the brake problem, because it's a computer problem, not necessarily the actual brakes themselves.
So we're not 100% that if that's what it was, because it was like screwing up a lot of stuff, I think.
Right, but there was a point where I put
Yeah.
my brakes on and I had no brakes.
Yeah.
So I had to get a new car because the mechanic came back to me and said that the price to replace it would be almost double what the car's worth. And buying a used one or finding one off of a junk car is a 50-50 shot.
It's still hard to find that. And a decent kind of car.
So I was fortunate enough that my parents would allow me to take my their van and drive their van. Both of my parents are elderly. They're not able to really like drive anymore.
They should not be driving.
And in less than a month of me taking control of the van, my father passed away. So I am driving a vehicle that my mother shouldn't be driving at all. She claims that she is blind.
No. You went to the doctor with her, and
okay,
they told her that her retinas are squishy. She will eventually go blind. And that's not even dealing with any of the other issues, like she has seizures that we can't predict.
right. And
Don't get me started.
so she has more than once been like, when you come into the room, I can make out that there's a shape, but I can't tell who it is until you get closer.
But let me be clear. First off, I don't really like his mom. That's not a secret. This bitch can read text messages and fill out forms on her phone. We know she's going blind, but it's selective at the moment, what she can or cannot see. Right?
Pretty close to it.
I mean, I believe it because that she's going blind because you went to the doctors with her. It's like a blind clinic that was supposed to teach her how to work to live if she is blind.
Right. So she shouldn't be driving anyways. And so I'm driving their vehicle, trying to save up money to purchase another one. Prior to my car dying, I had already sort of started looking, but every time that I'd find a car and I'd have a little bit saved up, something would happen. Like we had a water heater break.
Don't even, that's a whole nother story. Like we have had crap.
And so like we've had a lot of these other things that have happened. So like the money that I've saved up goes towards it and vice versa. So
we're grateful that he got to use the van in the time period you did.
In the process of me using the van, my mother has gone, and I've talked about it on the stream a bunch of times.
She's batshit crazy.
She's gone into rehab units a couple of times where she's sick, she's fallen, stuff like that. And I talk about it. Well, what was it, 6 months ago?
I don't know, where are you going with that?
The first time is December or January?
Where she demanded her van back?
Yeah. I've only been driving the van at that point 5 months. And she demanded the van back, partially because I couldn't take time off to take her somewhere. But I think the big problem has always been she wants to take her dog to the vet. And her dog to the vet it's for fleas at that. It's not for he's sick or anything like that. It's because he has fleas.
And let me be clear. You have taken time off. You drive her to the doctor, XYZ. The dog issue is not a new issue. but she picks and chooses when she wants to throw that out to you.
Right. And it is one of those, she will go months without saying anything about the dog. And then just randomly, I need the dog to go to the vet because he needs to get flea medication. And we say, well, we can get flea medication without going to the vet. No, he's got to go to the vet. And
she doesn't want to make an appointment. She just wants you to pick the damn dog up, take him to the vet, and be like, here you go.
And that's part of the problem is the fact that it's never scheduled, it's never set up that way. It is just, can you do it tomorrow? And every time that I tell her no, she throws a fit of some sort.
Like a toddler temper tantrum. I've seen toddlers act better than her.
And so come December, January, might have been February.
My time frame is weird. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw that out to y'all. My daughter gets married next weekend. There's a lot going on. A lot has gone on in the past year and a half, 2. So time reference is kind of hard, but it hadn't been too long.
Yeah, so I'm thinking it's more February because it's after she had got a contractor to come work on her house, and that's a whole nother story.
Oh, and that's a good story. It's still ongoing. Yeah, it's around January.
So it's January, February. I'm driving. I'd picked up the van from it being worked on because it needed oil change.
Something else.
Yeah, there was something wrong with it. Oh, the oil cooler started to overheat.
Yeah.
So I'd taken it to the shop to get it fixed, took a day off. My mother's in rehab. And that's the reason I brought the rehab stuff up earlier. My mother's in rehab. I'm taking the car to the shop. Took a day off to do that. Also on my day off, when I picked the van back up, I went and picked up all of the tags for the van, for my car.
Oh yeah, that was February. Yeah, that's February.
Yeah.
And on my way home, she calls me and she does this, are you going to come visit me? And I go, no, Mom, I've got stuff to do. And I just picked the van up. I just went and bought tags, which took me in the opposite direction of your rehab facility because you picked a rehab facility that was
way away from everybody. Like,
not like 30 minutes, not an hour. Like, she chose a rehab that was 2 to 2.5 hours away from us.
No, that's the second one. This is when she's closer to your daughter.
Oh yeah,
There's been a lot of rehabs.
and when we say rehab, we're talking about rehabilitation, not
Not like alcohol, drug rehab.
So
oh, I forgot about that. She was up there.
So
Not convenient.
yep.
Not in anybody's like.
I remember because what was funny about that was that I was up there more, and I was like, I don't give a fuck. I am not going to drop her shit off. I forgot that was that one. Okay. I forget so much. There's been so much. Sorry.
So I've picked up the tags. I'm headed home. She has called me. I'm talking to her. And it started off with a normal, like, are you going to come visit? I'm like, no, I'm already 30 minutes from my house, but I'm like an hour and 15 from yours because of where I'm at.
At the time, your job was taking you everywhere but around there.
Right. And she gets a little upset and she's telling me, well, my contractor has been doing this and doing that. And that was part of what we needed to talk about anyways, was supposedly the contractor was going to get the tags as well.
Oh my
And
god, the contractor's gonna be a whole nother story.
Well, that's part of the reason that this has to be brought up.
Oh, I know, but like, God.
So he's also started picking up her mail, even though I was going over once a week or more and picking the mail up. Well, I can't find the stuff that I need. And one of the things that I couldn't find for almost a month was the tag information, because the tags needed to be done, and I got them done on the very last day without getting penalized, because he had them somewhere.
Or she had them somewhere and she just wouldn't give them.
Well, she's in rehab, so if they're
true.
if they are up at rehab, they're not where they're supposed to be. And that's the key, was this gentleman that I don't know who he is, had been picking up my mail. And so,
Some of your things.
yeah. So I start complaining about this to her while we're talking. And she starts getting really defensive. And I said that I didn't trust him. And it's every time that I say I don't trust him. I don't trust.
She comes at you.
So I don't trust.
you.
And it's a random contractor.
We've never met him. I would.
Put his name out there, and not right now, but because I don't know his full name, and be like,
Do not use it.
bamboozlement stuff.
And the reason that I don't trust him is every time that I try to get information from him about how much it would cost to do something, he couldn't give me estimates. He couldn't give me this. He couldn't give me why. He'd be like, well, we could be getting into other things when we get into this. And I go, yeah, but off the top of your head, you've seen the house. What would be an estimate for doing A? Not saying if you run into problems, because when you run into problems, then you just come to us and say, hey, I have this problem. It's going to cost B now.
But at the time, he apparently had the tax information on your cars too, because they were registered to that address.
Right. But so this is part of the reason the contractor, I don't trust him. Now he's taken my mail. So I complained to my mother that I don't trust him. At this point, she goes, well, you have my van and I need it. And I'm like, what do you need it for? You're in rehab. I need it.
It's mine.
Right. And she gets to the point where she goes, well, I'll just call the cops on you. And I, on the phone, and I'm already livid at this point. And when she said that,
It was a couple of months.
no, this is the first time.
I know the first time she said,
The first time she said she would call the cops on me. You forgot that there's twice?
okay, I'm gonna be very honest. I have lupus brain fog, I have perimenopause, and there's been so much shit that you want me to retain.
Right. So, she's threatened it then.
Oh yeah.
And I told her.
I do remember that because you had to take her to the doctor like the next day or something.
I told her, so you trust this guy over your son and you're willing to call the cops on your son because he doesn't trust somebody. And she had also got mad at me because I called her by her first name instead of calling her mom.
Now,
And
yeah,
I said,
now I remember.
if
Yeah.
I'm not going to call you mom, because a mom would also not threaten to call the cops on their son over the fact that they let them borrow a van so that they could go to work and stay in a living spot.
And I'm a mom, and I remember losing my shit.
So fast forward to last month.
My God, yeah.
Yeah.
April?
Yeah.
I think we're like
Almost a month and a half out of it.
Yeah.
In April, We're 2 months out now.
I know, but
Almost.
I know we're in June. I just, time's been weird.
So in April, so that happened in February. 2 months later, she calls me. We're having a discussion, and she brings up her contractor again. I again make the statement that I don't trust him. She goes into this whole, well, he's a good Christian man. And I go, I don't give a shit.
And that's all I ever needed to know. I was like, fuck this.
I keep calling him his boomer's
New stepdaddy.
And so I still don't trust him. I still don't know anything about him. I still don't. I know for a fact that he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. And she's wanting him to come here to my house to work on something. And I say, I don't need him. I don't trust him. And when I say that, she gets really upset. And in her whole thing of getting like upset about it, she then pulls the whole, well, my dog needs to go to the vet again. And I say, not right now.
Yeah.
And when I said, not right now, she got livid.
And your sister happened to.
Yeah.
It's an overheard conversation where we're getting at, right?
It's an overheard conversation that we're fixing to
Right.
get into, right?
So
That's food, he has water.
I don't know what to do.
I know. So I eventually hang up on her because I'm tired of dealing with all of it.
Ridiculous.
It's not going anywhere. She's not being reasonable. And I knew that my sister was on her way over there anyways to deliver groceries or something like that.
Or something, yeah.
So I was nice enough to my sister to warn her, hey, by the way, me and mom just had a fight.
And they do that for each other because they have to.
Because you don't want to walk into a landmine.
So
You weren't even home yet.
hmm?
You weren't even back here yet.
Yeah, it was.
No, because you walked in the door and handed me your phone. After you tell this story,
That's what happened. Yeah, okay, go. Sorry, go ahead.
So I think I went out to do something.
you went. I think you may have,
I don't remember if you had been there.
No.
but like you were coming home from work at the very least,
Mm-mm.
and your sister called you.
I was when I had the discussion with my mother, I was here.
No. I'm talking about when Leslie told you what she had overheard.
Oh. I think I went out and did something. Like I got
Yeah,
groceries
you were
or...
doing something.
But anyways, my sister texted me later, and she had walked in on my mother on the phone with the sheriffs, asking what they needed to do to report her car stolen.
Oh, let's not sugarcoat this. She said my son stole my van,
And the sheriffs,
and I want it back.
the sheriff asked her if, because my mom does everything on speakerphone.
Well, 911 operator was working.
No, they had patched her to
Well,
the sheriff.
I don't know about.
Rule, so how they work.
I know it was a sheriff because the sheriff called her back while my sister was there.
But she said that her son had stolen her van, and she wanted it back.
So in it, they said because she had let me borrow it, that it becomes a civil thing, and that she would have to come down to the courthouse and file paperwork that way to get it situated, because it becomes a civil act instead of a And that's where the sheriff had to call her back to let her know that part of it. While they were talking about it, they also asked for details about the van.
I forgot.
The van is a charcoal or silvery gray.
If you're gonna call it anything, call it black. It's
So it's silver gray.
I don't want to get into technicalities, but if you
So it's charcoal.
whatever.
She called it gold.
She described the damn
She has
van in her yard.
she has a broken down van.
1986 or something.
No, it's a 90s.
Still 90s.
We're not. You're not.
Getting any. Yeah.
Um,
And she was like, it's a gold.
Old, and I'm like, this bitch don't even know what color her damn car is.
what she described was the van before the one that I was driving.
Oh, is that the one right before?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
And when that one broke down, that's when they started driving my Land Rover. And then from my Land Rover
my
is where
God,
they got to the.
That is going back.
Yep.
Okay.
Holy crap.
So when I hear this, I do what I start looking for a vehicle. I also start looking at what it would take to get the said vehicle because I don't have any money because, as she stated, we've got a wedding coming up. We've got other things that have come up where
Lots of shit.
I'm out of money.
But let me be clear. When he came home,
He walked in and said, my mom just called the cops on me and said that the van was stolen. And I immediately texted your sister and I said, no. All I said was, no, she did not. And she went, yes, she did. And I was like, all right, game on, bitch. Let's go.
So we got lucky to find a vehicle
yes, we did.
at a very good price.
It's been a couple of months, but yeah.
We did.
I go to the bank to get a loan
A small loan.
to
Purchase
This
his
vehicle.
help purchase said vehicle and get insurance and tags and all that stuff situated. So it's a personal loan, and it's with the bank that I've been using for a few years. And when I got the loan, you're having trouble hearing Pretty Lady? She's really quiet. Okay,
I can be louder.
please don't. You're already coming across on my
Did you just
microphone.
say that?
Yes.
Look,
I'm loud. I talk. I have an opinion. I'm obnoxious.
it'll be
And I'm the first one to
tell you that. So, yeah, he'll fix it. They're probably reading my facial expressions and going, what is she saying? I'm just like, fuck this shit. Okay.
Okay, that should be picking her up a little bit better.
What? Is that better?
That should definitely be picking her up better.
Is that better? Yes. Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. I could actually read that. Holy crap. I'm blind as hell. Been wearing glasses since I was like 6.
So, anyways, I get the loan, and my loan paperwork, I didn't mind. I didn't think about looking at what address he had put down. So my loan paper goes to my mother's house because it's still listed as my residence for that bank.
Oh my god.
So my sister happens to be delivering groceries again when the paperwork comes in.
And this is a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
It hadn't been that long for this.
And the the loan paperwork comes in, and my mom opened my mail. And
It was a loan book. Like, I didn't know they still did that, but it's like the payment book,
And I know for a fact that, because even my sister told me, but I have other ways of knowing, that the letter just has my name on it. Does not has hers.
But we also need to say that you and your dad are senior and junior. Like, y'all have the same name.
Correct.
But she knows the damn difference.
Well, it also has the prefix on it of my name.
Boomer?
No. The junior part.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it's not a confusion moment. It's a deliberate moment.
So she's looked at it. She is trying to figure out what it is. And she, when my sister comes in, says, and this is where the title comes from, "Your brother has bamboozled us." And my sister goes, "Do what?" She hands my sister my loan paperwork. My sister starts going through it, and she goes, "This is a personal loan. This has
nothing to do with you."
But my mother thought that the paperwork she was holding was somehow I had taken a loan on her checking account.
No, she thought you
No,
had...
it was out of her...
Yeah, I know that, but she was...
And that I
Boomer
had set
had
up
taken money out of his
plans.
money, but you had somehow figured out at the bank that this is your repayment plan. And I was like, if that works, let me know, because I'm going to go in there and find somebody that's got lots of money in their bank, and I'm going to try the same shit.
Yeah. So she thought I had set up payment plans
To pay her back.
To take a loan out of her checking account.
Yeah, but it was to pay. She thought it was to pay, and then you would pay her back.
And
do you want me to get him?
Huh?
Do you want me to get him? Is he bothering you?
No.
Okay, well then go. Sorry, our dog's losing his shit.
But the whole bamboozlement was over the fact that I took out a loan.
Oh, let's go back to when you dropped the damn van off. She didn't ask you, what are you going to be driving? What kind of car do you have? Anything. She just got mad at you because you didn't teach her how to work her fucking key fob or the fucking van again. Right?
Yeah. But she didn't even say that to me.
Not right then. That was a little later.
She waited till my sister came over and complained about me to my sister, saying that I didn't teach her how to work the van or how to run it. And his dad, would have shown me what to do.
It's a car, bitch. It's an automatic car. If you don't know what to do, you should not be driving. But we were at her house not too long after that to get your stuff, some of your stuff. Right?
Yeah. No, that's the same time. Because remember, we dropped the van off and picked up the stuff.
Because I had to
and
yeah, you're
left.
not wrong. I had to drive over there, but that bitch did not ask you. You're like, hey, because I did not get to be there when he dropped the keys off and said, hey, here, bitch, here's your van. And he didn't say that. I do. Whatever. I wish I had, but I was I was about 20 minutes behind you. Because you had stuff to do, then I went over. I'll tell you straight up when I walked in that. Because we'd already decided that when he went over there to drop the van off, that he was going to pick up some of his belongings and bring them home. And whatever. But she didn't ask any questions. She didn't ask anything about, well, how are you getting to work? Why are you bringing the van back? XYZ. When I got there, she was in that stupid electric wheelchair. And I did not anticipate rounding the corner and seeing her, but I know that motherfucking bitch did not anticipate seeing me either. And I was like, come on. I was like, hey, I can be nice as sugar if I have to be, especially to people I can't stand. It was when she got the loan payment book, she still hasn't asked what you bought, what you're driving, or XYZ.
Right. And she's just conferred, basically from my sister, that the loan was probably for the car.
Well, no, I'm sure. I mean, she's not a stupid woman. As much as she likes to play stupid, she's not stupid. But we didn't inform her. I don't want her to know nothing. But yeah, oh, keep going. It's so much worse. You gotta talk about the key fob shit. You'll get there.
I mean, I'm basically done.
Are you?
Yeah. To me, that's it.
You don't want to go into like
all the rest of that's another story. To me. You have to touch on some of the stories to get there. But like the bamboozlement, it ends after I've turned in the van and...
oh no, I get that. But in the last week or so, this motherfucking bitch, and I'm gonna call her that, and y'all can call me petty, whatever, I can be that kind of petty bitch, I own it. She does have Ring cameras up that you still have access to.
Yeah, and the point was so that we could keep an eye on the house when she wasn't there.
But no, but that too. But also, to be honest, like, this bitch failed every other day. So she hadn't fallen in the last 6 months. That's a whole nother story. But yeah.
No,
it's June. When's the last time you think she failed?
When was the last time she was in rehab?
6 months ago.
No.
8 months ago?
No. It was like March. When she went down south.
Dude, she used to fall every other day.
Right. It's been 2 months, but she's only been home like a month.
She's been home longer than that. We're just again, time frames, and I understand that. It's been crazy. But
that's the reason that has nothing like her.
Okay.
That's not this story.
Well, I'll say this, that we have watched this bitch try to get in that car, and she couldn't even work the key fob. She kept opening doors that should not open. Has nothing to do with the driver's seat, XYZ. And I'm gonna be completely honest. I called her primary care doctor because I'm terrified that this woman is going to try to drive. And she lives on a very busy rural highway and kill somebody. And I'm just not okay in my heart and my peace with that. I called her doctor. I talked to her nurse and said, hey, next time she comes in, because you had already talked to the doctor before, and the doctor had already said something, we said something about her drive, and he went, well, she can't drive because of her seizures. So I made them put a note in her chart to tell her, you cannot drive. And that's just for my peace of mind, because she lives on a freaking highway that, like, school buses go down, families go down.
Well, it's a major, like, it's not a major highway,
but it is. In Alabama, it is. It's very busy. But you also have tractors and hay and all that kind of crap.
It is a thoroughfare that is used by semi-trucks
it's also
and
a
bunch
cut
of other
through
stuff.
between some of our major ones right there. I didn't realize that, but I do. But yeah, She tried to report her son to the police for stealing her van that not only would affect him personally, but professionally. Just because she wanted her shit. I have nothing for her. I have nothing left for her anymore.
Well, we've got an ad break coming up in just a second, so we're going to go ahead and hit the be right back.
That's fine.
If we've got more story, we'll come back with more.
I feel like I pissed you off.
Oh no.
I'm more vocal. It's not my mom.
Right.
It's not my family.
Right.
So I have way more. I don't give a fuck than you do on this one.
But yeah, so ads are starting in about 10 seconds. We'll be right back with maybe another story.
We have
or
tons.
something else.
have tons.
I'm Shinigami Tabris. We'll be right back.